listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back, as always. We're here to review Raw, Dynamite, and SmackDown. A lot going on. King and Queen of the Ring tournament, Double or Nothing, and King and Queen of the Ring tournament are next weekend. So that's going to be a doozy. But we're here to talk about all the preliminary stuff building to that moment. As always, on the other end of the call, if I'm the quarterback, he's my receiver. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, we're keeping it tight this week, man. I swear. I know we say this every week. We are keeping it tight.
You sure?
Yes. There's not a lot of stuff to talk about, so we are keeping this thing tight today. Maybe get a little predictions, but this is going tight.
Okay.
That's the right terminology to use. We're keeping it tight.
No Diddy. But,
no Diddy.
But yeah, so obviously we're going to talk about all that stuff. Nothing monumental happened this week, so try and keep it short, more enjoyable listen for the listeners out there. But to go ahead and start us off, let's talk about one of our sponsors and one of the favorite segments on our show. Obviously, we got the take of the week. Now, before we get too far into anything, this is sponsored by Dead Threads. If you are a fan of any sport out there, football, soccer, lacrosse, college sports, NFL, MLB, anything like that, you got to have your merch for your favorite teams. You don't want to be that guy going to a game and you just got on some red plain shirt and people got to wonder who you're rooting for. You want to be stylish at a game. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and get you some Dead Threads. Like I said, NFL, MLB, anything. There's a lot going on right now. Playoffs, NHL, it's a whirlwind in sports and it's a whirlwind in wrestling. So we got to mesh those a little bit. So if you like sports, go ahead, check out Dead Threads. The link will be in the description of this episode. Click our Linktree link. At the top of that, you click that link, you get 15% off. If you use the code SCOOPSLAM, you can get another 10% off of your order. So right there, you're saving 15 plus an additional 10, and you get you some nice looking merch for your favorite sports team. But take of the week, Ryan. The honor is bestowed upon you this week. I don't have one, so I'll let you take the reins.
Yeah, Micah, I got one from our favorite place, the AEW official Reddit page.
It's like a little honey hole down there.
Bro, there's some wild stuff like buried underneath this place. So I'm here to dig it up, and I'm here to talk about a user named Tiki Jack. So yeah, shout out Tiki Jack for his or she, her, they their fantasy booking idea. They write, is the learning tree inspired by CM Punk? Question mark. I
also have a question mark.
Well, hold up now. Let him cook. I saw a random chat comment from someone who said he saw a random comment that Chris Jericho's current gimmick is a parody of CM Punk's behavior in AEW. And I don't know that I see a lot of similarity, but honestly, I think it would be a great direction to go with. He could speak to Action Andretti about his behavior in recent match and end up attacking him. He could constantly wear a t-shirt supporting the most recent thing while simultaneously being a terrible person to everyone. He could say you're working to help the new guys get over, but bury them and end up with their belts. He could have a feud with someone who you never talk about because you're currently embroiled in a lawsuit with them. He could hire a Rufus-like indie old-timer to be his personal coach and segment producer, but keeps biting people backstage. Honestly, the comedy writes itself.
Some of those things didn't even pertain to Punk, but go ahead.
Well, so what do you think of their Learning Tree's CM Punk inspired gimmick? Are you buying that?
No. Now, I think that there are people impersonating the backstage Punk gimmick on AEW right now, but that's the Young Bucks.
I can't get them out of their heads.
The learning tree.
It's a
First
parody on
off,
CM Punk, apparently.
no, it's a parody on the public's perception of Chris Jericho. How do people get
What?
this lost?
What? What do you mean? This is about CM Punk. It's always been about CM Punk, Mike.
Yeah, that's why they're 672,000 instead of the typical 800.
He's the
Because
cause
it's
of
all a
that.
parody.
He's the reason that the ratings are going down. Don't you know?
Oh, I seriously saw somebody say that today, that it was his fault because he made people.
CM Punk's fault.
Yeah, it was. This is all Punk's fault, and somebody said, "How is it his fault? He's not even there anymore." And they were like, "Because he made people want to hate AEW," and I was like, "Or he just broke the glass like that was protecting everybody from realizing that there's a lot of stupid crap that gets on that TV show that shouldn't." We'll talk
Yeah.
about some of it later, but I don't know. Like, I'll go ahead and say this because I was going to say this later. Do you remember that time where like everybody raved about Dynamite and said, "Oh, this might be the best Dynamite ever," and then the next week they'd come back and say, "This might be the best Dynamite ever." And while I may not have, well, it's not quite what it used to be.
Okay.
So if the online perception is not what it used to be of like all the people in the world, if it's not the online perception that it used to be, shouldn't that tell you something right there? Because those people love AEW and they love everything AEW does. But I don't see as much praise now as I did then.
You're WWE Shield, Micah. You just hate wrestling. You don't think these are great shows? AEW's cooking right now. Do you not like Jack Perry? Do you not like him?
I thought this episode was better than the few they've had in the past couple of weeks, but I don't think it was better by a country mile.
It was absolutely a stat card. There were bangers on this card. Great segments, great angles, great promos. What are you talking about, Micah? This cooked right here.
Oh, it did.
Paul Levesque do that. Yeah, let's see Paul Levesque do that.
Yeah, somebody's cooked, all right. Last name Khan. So, anyways, yeah, I don't know about the CM Punk learning tree. That
CM junk.
That don't track, but let's get back on track and go ahead and get to some of these reviews today. So obviously we come to SmackDown from last week. We already talked about some of the winners for the King and Queen of the Ring on the last episode, but we're going to actually dive into it today. So to start us off on SmackDown, the main thing that I wanted to talk about is obviously the opening segment. There's some little stuff after, but Nick Aldis brings out Cody, brings out his newest challenger, which is going to be Logan Paul, and they had a back and forth. And honestly, I thought this was pretty solid for, I guess, a main stage for Logan. Like, I would probably say that Cody's the best promo guy he's been in the ring with, maybe other than Miz when Miz really wants to promo. But I thought he did really, really good. I'm so glad he's heel now. He's such a better, believable heel, like flaunting Prime and flaunting the ingredients and the achievements and how much they sold. And it's going to be weird with them doing a champion versus champion match. Like, I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of screwy finish, but I'm interested.
Is it really weird though? Logan Paul is he the only heel on SmackDown that Cody hasn't faced? Because he just faced AJ. Who else you got, Micah? You can't go Bobby Lashley, is he? I think he's babyface.
Plus, he's hurt now.
Yeah. Who did they have? The King of the Ring tournament is going on at the same time. So there's not a lot of big names that he could have faced, like LA Knight or something like that.
Yeah. Plus, you got the Bloodline wrapped up in their whole thing, and you don't really want to you don't want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, rehash that yet.
Yeah, it's too soon for that. So where would you go if not for Logan?
I don't even know. I'd have to look at the roster, honestly.
that's not speaking in glowing terms about the SmackDown roster right there. I think because the King of the Ring tournament's going on at the same time, it kind of does hinder the roster of the players you can use in a Cody Rhodes feud at the moment. Because you don't want to go with Randy too soon. I think they saved that for like a SummerSlam or something.
Yeah.
LA Knight's wrapped up in King of the Ring. Bobby's hurt. AJ just had his match. You don't want to put him with the Bloodline, like you said. There's not a lot of guys that he could feud with at the moment.
No, not like main event caliber. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Karrion
Theory
Kross.
is there.
That'd be a good match, but I don't think he's at that
Feud
level. Yeah. Yeah, the feud is. No, he's tag. Isn't he tag champion still?
Yeah, but I'm saying that's another heel. I mean, other than that, they have Santos, which I don't think he's ready for that moment. Shinsuke, we don't need to see that again.
No. Heck no.
That
crazy?
killed Seth's run.
Bro, he had a segment on the show too. Shinsuke did. I was like, bro, I'm so done with him. I don't want to see this guy anymore. You're not missing anything.
Other than that, like Andrade, but he's babyface. Apollo Crews, but he ain't ready for that spot.
Oh, he ain't been on the show in like 3 years.
Hey, well, I'm just saying he's on the roster, but
this is where you need Jinder. Jinder Mahal would have came in handy.
Oh God!
I'm just saying, Micah. Just saying.
So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's not as weird as I thought. I'm interested to see where they go. It'll be a really good match, but the promo, I need to see the build, I guess.
Is this where they debut the new Wyatt family? Is this it? You think?
I know we talked about it. It could. I mean, I know this is obviously like a kind of borderline statement about anything, but that has very big boom or bust potential.
Oh yeah, big time. It could be great. It could be the drizzling. You know what? Well, I'm gonna root for it because I am still a Bray Wyatt fan, and I did enjoy Bo Dallas back in the day. So I'm hoping that they do something different. I'm hoping that it can translate to in-ring because that was kind of hard to do with a lot of the Fiend stuff. A lot of stuff could not translate to in-ring. Then you had a lot of weird matchups and a lot of weird in-ring encounters with the Fiend, and when he faced like somebody like a Miz or Daniel Bryan, you couldn't have the Fiend sell, Micah. So I'm interested to see how they can make this work in a wrestling environment.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then, because obviously I feel like it's going to be cheered because of Bray's passing.
Yeah.
Do you have them target Logan? Because if you target Cody, I mean, it immediately establishes that you're heel, but how received is that going to be? Because if it's bad, Cody's reign is going to be remembered for this if this drags till SummerSlam.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. You don't want them feuding with the world champion right off the bat unless you give them the world title. You know what I saw online? I can't take credit for this, but I did see somebody said that what if the new Wyatt family target Jay because he has started like the Firefly stuff. And he did say online that it's his now. What if they target Jay?
I wouldn't hate it. It'd give him some more legs because I feel like he's stuck in the upper mid card area. What did he say about the Fireflies?
When I guess somebody brought up that it kind of looks like when he does when he's eating, he has his hands in the air and everybody puts their phones in the air.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed out that it kind of looks like the Fireflies, and he said that it's his now or something like that.
That would be kind of interesting. I mean, it's tricky with those. Just like happened with Bray, I mean, the Fiend was good when it came out, and then it started stinking. So, like, what?
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying, I didn't watch during that period, but I'm just saying what people have said. So, I don't know,
Well,
but you got to have some kind of finish because Cody can't be world champ and U.S. champ, right? Like Logan's got to carry that thing to SummerSlam because it's in Cleveland.
what if Logan carries the world title?
Oh God, come
Well,
on now.
Hey, bro, some strange things have happened in the world wrestling entertainment. Remember when Seth beat John Cena when he unified the United States and WWE title?
I
You
don't
watching
know.
at that point?
I think I
Remember
just
John
checked out.
Stewart? John Stewart got involved.
I do remember seeing that, but I don't think I
Yeah.
I don't think I was in the product at the time.
Well, John Stewart made a run in. Seth won the title and unified both titles. That was right around the time. That was right around the time he paralyzed Sting. Seth Rollins did.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I was gonna say that sounds very on par for late 2010s Vince booking.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
It's
let's be.
a lot of directions they can go in.
Yeah, I mean it could. It's interesting. Like I'm gonna have to tune in and watch it because I gotta know what happens. But I'm also kind of worried about what may happen. So we'll see. But I thought Logan did a good job. Like it was a good
Yeah.
back and forth to start the show.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good match.
Yeah, it'll probably be better than the AJ match, even though I really did like the AJ match. But it'll be all about the finish, just like we kind of been talking about. Other than that, on SmackDown, we had Jade versus Piper Niven for the Queen of the Ring tournament. Nothing really crazy. I thought Jade looked like she did make some improvements. Like she's a little smoother in there, but there's still moments. Like when Piper was doing those short arm clotheslines, she just kind of crumpled. She didn't really like flat back bumps sell it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Was this her first one-on-one match, Jade?
I think that's right. That
You
sounds
figure
right in my head.
You figure they advertise this a little more, like this would have been a main event or something. But I thought her strikes looked good, Jade.
Yeah, she is progressing. Like, I mean, she's above average in the ring. Like, I won't say she's bad, but I feel like she's got room to grow. I mean, she's 31. It's not like she can't become a really good wrestler within the next 2 years. In actuality, do I see her becoming better in ring than a Bianca or a Rhea? No, probably not. But if she's a little bit worse than Becky, she can make it work because she has 10 times the look that Becky Lynch has, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, she'll be a big star regardless.
Yeah. I think she'll end up winning this thing too. Just because I think it'll play into Bianca and her having a feud down the line.
Did you think she was gonna be able to get old Piper Niven up for the Jaded?
I figured something. They kind of cheesed it. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but Piper basically just jumped and Jade like picked her up real quick and then did it. So they kind of like cheesed it, but I mean, it was fine.
Well, it looked good. Crowd got up.
Yeah. This is her first no. This was her second TV match or singles match. Sorry. She had one squash against Chelsea Green.
When the heck was that? Oh, wait a minute. I don't remember that happened.
That was before WrestleMania. No, that was the night after WrestleMania.
Okay. Well, this is the first time she was in a competitive one-on-one match.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the other one went 23 seconds.
You can't see Nia Jax beating Jade next week.
I don't think they'll beat Jade for a while.
I don't think it would hurt her if Nia Jax beat her.
No, because I mean they've done a good job building Nia, but I don't know. I don't think I would like it personally.
Okay. So your pick for the Queen of the Ring is Jade?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be Jade and Bianca, and Jade will win.
So who's making out the Raw side? Io?
I will have to research who is on the Raw side, but I think so.
I think Io gets she is going to the finals on the Raw side. and I think Nia. I think Nia wins the SmackDown side.
Well, that's two heels. There ain't no way they're running two heels.
Was Io a heel still?
Yeah, Damage Control and them are heels.
She kind of played babyface in that match she had on Monday.
Oh, well. I mean, I don't know. I think Lyra Valkyria is a heel. I don't think they're baby faces. If they haven't officially turned. Because I think Jade beats Nia, Bianca beats Tiffany. And I don't know. I could see Tiffany beating Bianca.
Okay.
I think it'll be Jade versus Io in the finals.
The SmackDown side is that's a toss up.
Yeah. The Raw side is easily Io.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, anyways, following that, we had I kind of wanted to talk about the backstage stuff with the Bloodline.
Okay.
There wasn't really a whole lot, I guess, to talk about, but obviously we know Solo is not telling the truth, right?
I don't think so. This is like part of the thing where when you're watching wrestling, you gotta check your brain at the door, because couldn't Roman just call Paul right then and there and tell him? Yeah, couldn't he have done that?
Well, maybe he's MIA. We saw him at Disney World. He's spending time with the family. He's not watching the TV show.
He's not watching the show?
Nah.
Oh,
I got inside intel.
He's not watching no wrestling.
Nope. He's taking a sabbatical. He don't want to see Cody.
All right. Well, I mean, that's fair. I mean, a lot of guys don't want to see Cody nowadays. But I did think it was interesting that you remember last time Solo hugged somebody, it was his own brother, Jimmy, and he said that he loved him, just like he did Paul in that segment. Said he loved him, hugged him tight. I don't know, man. Just a little something to keep your eye on. Are we about to see them beat down the wise man one of these days?
It's a good catch. I don't know. It would be interesting because that was kind of going to be my next question. When Solo and them do anything, they start cheering for Roman. And when Roman comes back, they're at least going to pop just because it's Roman. So is Roman a babyface when he comes back?
I would hope so. I would also hope that they keep his return quiet. I don't want to see them advertise it. I don't want to see them say, "Oh, Roman returns to TV this Friday." I just want him to return. Like, music hit, crowd loses their mind, and he comes to the aid of the wise man, or maybe I don't know, Jay. I don't know where they're going because Roman's a free agent, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. The Bloodline's still going strong. They still keep me on the edge of my seat, keep me asking questions.
I don't know. We'll have to see. Because I think the free agent thing is definitely going to play into it. I don't know. There's a lot. Does Jacob Fatu come back and cost Cody the belt? You know what I'm saying? If you bring in Jacob Fatu, whose side is he on? If we go through this whole Rock and Roman Bloodline Wolf Pack, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe you bring him back at SummerSlam.
I could see that.
Maybe you bring Roman back at SummerSlam. Now, what the Bloodline does at SummerSlam is maybe I don't know. That's a good question. Good question.
We'll see. But following that, speaking of the Bloodline, the only other thing I really want to hit on was Tama Tonga versus Angelo Dawkins. Not a whole lot to say, but I'm not crazy impressed with Tama Tonga. I think he's okay, but I think their role is best reserved to be flunkies for the Bloodline.
He had a pretty cool entrance. I liked his entrance. Yeah. I had the fire.
I think maybe we need to see him in a tag match.
Oh man, you're done with him already?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying he's nothing just insane in the ring. I think they might just be another case of the Usos. Like before Jay got really over and kind of started talking, I don't really know a promo from them. I think they can just kind of be like what was their name? Haku and the tag team from the 90s, WCW, Powers of Pain, was that it?
Maybe. Hold on, look that up. Look that up real quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. The Powers of Pain. No, that was Barbarian and Warlord.
Okay.
Who?
Yeah.
It was Haku and God. It's been so long since and Ming. No,
Ming
Haku was Ming.
Yeah.
And what was their team name? I'm drawing such a blank.
I remember Haku tagged with Rikishi for a little while.
Faces of Fear.
Oh, okay. Who's in that?
It
Haku
was the Barbarian.
Haku the Barbarian? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. That rings a bell. Yeah.
So I think they could be like that because they didn't really talk and they were just kind of hitmen, but like, and they were good in the ring. I just, I don't know. I haven't been wowed. I guess I'll say that.
I think Tama Tonga is better in ring than Jay and Jimmy both. He can't really show a lot in a 6-minute TV match, Micah. Come on now.
Well, but even in the match at Backlash, I mean, it was fine, but there just wasn't anything just like, oh my God.
They didn't let him talk, man. Guy can talk.
Really?
Yeah, he can. He can talk. Well, he does those New Japan press conferences, so I don't know how it will translate in front of a live audience like we see on the other channel with the greatest heel of all time, Jay White.
I knew you were going to mention him.
Well, I'm just saying. He does not have a match on Double or Nothing, by the way. Greatest heel of all time. But anyways, yeah, Tama, I didn't think he was bad in here. I thought it was fine. What they gave him, the time they gave him. They made him look like a big star with that entrance.
Yeah.
And he didn't get beat on his debut, so that's always a win in my book.
Step in the right direction from the Vince days.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that was pretty much all from SmackDown. Not super action packed. I mean, the matches are good right now, but it's just there's not a whole lot to walk away from. It's like, okay, Io Sky won. This was expected. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why this show is so short, and it's a good week for us to be short because next week, well, not next week, but the next week is going to be
Armageddon for us.
What was it? Was it All Out last year that was like this?
Because it was All Out. Was All Out the week after All In?
Yes, but then there was a WWE pay-per-view somewhere in there.
In September?
No, I think it was it SummerSlam, then All Out, then All In, or was it like All Out and something else together? I remember us having a double pay-per-view show because I remember being like, dude, I don't want to watch any wrestling for like 3 weeks.
When did we go to that show in South Carolina? When was that?
That was June.
Was that June? No, that couldn't have been. That was July, wasn't it?
I can look it up.
It was it was July because I remember seeing the graphic for All in London, which I think was happening like a week or 2 weeks from then. And I was watching SummerSlam at that show that place we went to.
That's right. So it was August then.
Yeah, it was either early August or late July.
SummerSlam 2023. I forgot you're watching. That was August 5th.
It was August 5th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when was all out? Or no, All In. All In was the week after, right?
All In 2023 was August 27th. So not the next week, but the next week.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then we had another pay-per-view the week after.
Jesus. Anyways, we do have a little bit of stuff to talk about here before we get to that, so let's not dread the inevitable. We got Monday Night Raw from this past week, and really just two things I want to talk about here. The opening segment, Drew McIntyre came out basically to, what's the Eddie Kingston graphic say, address his enemies, mainly CM Punk.
Yeah.
And then Priest came out. They had a decent back and forth. I mean, they had some good one-liners here and there. Drew did really good, but I don't know. I know we've talked about Cody's reign, and you're not the biggest fan in the world, but
Oh.
how do you feel about Priest so far?
It's not hitting for me. He still kind of feels mid card. That's not his fault. That's just the way they treated him the last year.
I think it's that, and I don't know that he's a great promo guy. Like, sometimes his delivery just isn't. It's almost like I expect him to say a word or a phrase to pop the crowd or like to finish something, just because, you know, I've watched so much wrestling that like you can kind of pick up on key things where they're going. And I'm not saying like, oh, I watched this, so I know better. That's not what I'm trying to say. But
yeah. And
then it's like sometimes he'll just veer off and it doesn't land. There was something he said here, I can't remember exactly now, but he said it and it was supposed to be like, oh, and the crowd was just kind of like,
He has a great voice. He
Yeah.
should be doing like voiceover work when he retires from WWE.
I do agree.
He has that. But then when he talks, like you said, sometimes I feel like the crowd can throw him off a little bit too. Like if they're chanting what along to what he's saying, he gets thrown off. And a lot of guys modern day WWE and AEW, pretty much all professional wrestling, they kind of get that scripted-esque tone to it, and it just sounds fake, you know?
Yeah.
And Priest has that. I don't know if you can shake that. I don't know if bro needs acting classes, bro needs bullet points. I don't know. I was hoping that his reign was going to capture me, because he did. That first night he got the title, I was hooked. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give it a chance. But 3 weeks in, Micah? And I don't know. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I hate to just say, oh no, he's like Jack Swagger with the world title. Like, I hate to just doom him like that, but
can't do that. Come on.
I don't know. I need something to really, because even with the promo battles with Jay, it was just, like the crowd just don't care about him.
Is it because the Judgment Day's been overexposed on Monday Night Raw the last 2 years?
Yeah, I think that hurt it a lot, especially last year.
It just felt like every week the Judgment Day was involved in like the main event angle, or I don't know, man. It felt like they were kicking off Raw every week. It's just, maybe it was me. Maybe it's me. Maybe they didn't kick off every Raw, but it sure felt like it most weeks.
No, it felt like it, and it was different. It's like when Evolution dominated Raw in the early 2000s, like for the most part, to me, it was actually pretty good and meaningful.
What? Get out of here. Stop. That drove people away, Mike.
Well, you watched it live. I've only watched clips, but I don't know. The Judgment Day just has not felt like, do you really think they'll be like a legendary group remembered like 3 years from now? I don't think so.
Legendary? No. I do think they'll be remembered, just because, Dominic and Rhea will probably be future stars. So I'm sure the Judgment Day will be remembered. But as far as like, maybe the nostalgia will help their case over time. Like people talk about the Shield, like the Shield was the greatest thing of all time, when really they didn't really do anything but jump people. They didn't have any great promos or anything like that.
Believe in the Shield.
Wow, Roman yells it. Okay.
Hey, I liked the Shield when I was younger.
But what did they do?
They were cool. They were hitmen.
What did they do exactly? Why were they the greatest faction of all time? Like a lot of A lot of these young cats online say nowadays, Micah.
I don't think they're the greatest faction of all time, but I think a lot of that plays into the fact that more of what they did after, like Evolution is remembered for being on Raw all the time during that period. But also you got to look at the domination they had on wrestling for the next 20
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, I agree.
So the Shield's kind of the same way. I mean, for the last 10 years, Roman, Seth, and John have been on some kind of they've been at the top of just about anywhere they've went, even if that's not in WWE.
Do you see them at the level of a Randy Orton or a Batista, though? Come on, Roman, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Roman, yeah.
Seth and Dean. I like Dean in the Shield. I like him after the Shield. I don't know what he's doing on Wednesdays, but come on, man. He's nowhere near Batista or Randy. Come on now.
I don't know.
You're letting those nostalgia glasses take over again, Micah. The Wyatt family clears. Wyatt family clears.
I like Seth, but the Seth freaking Rollins sucked. And I liked Moxley up until like 2022.
But they're not like on the level of a Batista or Randy. We can agree on that.
Batista maybe. Randy, nah. Batista maybe.
Bro, Batista was a bigger star in a time where people watch wrestling more, and he is one of the biggest. I'm not gonna say the biggest. He's a big star in Hollywood now.
Are we talking about Moxley? Star?
Well, yeah, the Evolution made stars. People say that the Shield made stars, but did they really?
Roman. I thought you were talking about just like if we had to rank them best wrestler of all time or whatever.
I'm putting Batista over Dean Ambrose. I'm sorry, man.
I think they're close. I don't know. We don't have to keep going, but
okay, all right.
Star power. I mean, I would put Batista over probably anybody in that group except for Flair, just because he's an actor.
Well, Batista is a 6-time world champion. It's more than Moxley and Seth.
True. I don't know. It's a hard comparison, but I think the Shield is a very influential group. I don't think best of all time, though.
Roman is.
Yeah, I would put Roman over Batista, and honestly, I'd probably put Roman over.
Randy.
It's hard. It's hard because a lot of jaded fans love Randy Orton.
I'll put Roman over Randy. I think historically, you're gonna remember Roman more as a Mount Rushmore type wrestler. Easy for me to say than Randy is, honestly.
I think so. Yeah, just because really he ushered in the boom era.
Yeah, exactly. Look, imagine how people are going to be talking about Roman Reigns 10 years from now.
Yeah. They'll forget that the Bloodline used to almost be intolerable every week.
Oh, man, come on.
Hey, look, I'm saying there was times, I like the Bloodline stuff, and a lot of times it was the only thing that was really happening on SmackDown, but there were some weeks when it was like, dude, this is just dragging on for no reason.
They're on autopilot for a little bit. But, I mean, that comes with the territory. I mean, you got to book 5 hours of weekly television every week.
Yeah, so anyways, speaking of the Bloodline, the only other thing I really want to hit on Raw was Jay versus Ilya for the King of the Ring tournament matchup. I thought it was a good match. I hate to say it, I think this is probably the worst Ilya match I've ever seen.
Oh, man. Okay.
I don't think it was bad, but I'm just saying, when you see a match like Ilya and Ricochet the week before, then you see this.
Bro, Jay got busted up too in this match. Ilya, I don't know what he does. He lays his stuff in. He's either going to bleed or his opponent's going to bleed in every match he has.
I bet he freaking hit him with his elbow, with the H-bomb, and hit him probably on his ear, and that's what caused that earring to bleed. That looked like it hurt.
Why does he have his earrings in? It's supposed to be a professional fight. You take your earrings out when you go fight. Come on now. What are you doing?
Well, some guys wrestle with, Jeff Hardy, Moxley.
But if we're taking this as a real, actual sport, why would you keep your earrings in?
It's
Come
real.
on now. Come on. Well, okay.
You got to look
Can't
cool
deny
in there.
Yeah, I can't deny that.
I mean, hey, look, Jay might not have a lot going for him, but he's got a look. I give him that.
And he has an entrance too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I also want to get into because everybody online was ready for the pitchforks with pitchforks. Easy for me to say. If Ilya lost, and he did, and everybody was like,
What?
Everybody kept
People
sharing
mad?
that picture that said where it's got Heyman in the ring and he says death to sports entertainment, death to the WWE.
Oh, come on.
So
People wanted Ilya, a guy that's been on the roster 2 weeks, to beat Jey Uso, the biggest baby face on Raw.
oh yeah.
What are people smoking?
They love Ilya because he fits the bill that the online fan loves.
But take it as if you're a booker, Micah, and I know we're not getting checks from WWE, but if we're booking this show
Yet.
Exactly. If we're booking this show, why on earth would I book a guy that we just met a week ago to beat one of my guys that I know is going to be in a top storyline on Raw? Why would I do that?
I don't know, Ryan. You're speaking too much truth.
I don't understand.
People
that.
get shot for less.
Would you bring in Taz in 1999 to come beat Steve Austin? No, you wouldn't.
That's my thing. I mean, I like Ilya, and you really like Ilya. Like you said
Yeah,
that
I
day, he's
do.
probably your favorite to watch on Raw.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, Jay's a star. I mean, don't get me wrong, the bell has to ring at some point. But hey, that worked for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Look at Hogan.
Look at Hogan. Look at Rock. Well, Rock was pretty good.
No, but whoa.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bury the Rock. I'm just saying. Jay's in-ring stuff, like his strikes, does remind me of, old school Rock with the open hand. The open hand slaps he does.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Jay does it as good though.
Well, no, he's not the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment. But I do think they could have beaten Jay, but it needed to have a distraction or an interference or DQ. We needed something like that if you were going to beat Jay. But you need to protect your baby faces on the show.
Yeah.
And losing to the biggest baby face on the show after being called up literally a week ago is not going to hurt Ilya Dragunov. And having Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther on Monday Night Raw, their first time meeting on the main roster, is probably not the best idea to do. You probably want to save that for a Berlin show that they're going to do I think that's in August. Maybe save it for that. They are going to do that match. They did have a backstage segment. I think, was that last week that they had a stare down with Ilya and Gunther? Or was that this week?
I don't know. I don't think I caught that.
It may have been this week where Gunther interrupted Ilya's backstage segment and they just looked at each other and Gunther walked past them. So they're building to that. Having them the first time encounter on Raw with all the commercial breaks and the time constraints, it was probably the best booking decision to have Ilya versus Gunther down the line and not on a random Raw.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, it needs bigger stakes and it needs time because a match like that they're gonna have don't need to go 11 minutes with commercials.
Yeah.
So obviously Jay wins. Next week I do think he'll lose to Gunther because I think Gunther's gonna win the whole thing. But if Jay won, I probably wouldn't be too terribly surprised.
They could. There's a lot of direction they can go in for this tournament. They need to establish some stakes in this tournament, though. What is the winner getting? We don't know. The finals is in what, 2 weeks? Next week?
Well, they're getting the title.
The title.
The title of King of the Ring.
So they're gonna carry around a crown and a scepter, huh?
Well, you know, the Owen Hart Cup, they give out titles, so.
You know, as long as the winner develops a British accent or like an African accent, like King Booker did, I would be happy with that.
Or Apollo Crews.
Okay, yeah, sure, him too.
I don't know. You brought it up last week, didn't you? That whoever won the King of the Ring would get a title shot at SummerSlam. Used to.
Yeah, they did that stipulation one time in '02 for Brock Lesnar, and that was the vehicle to get Brock a title shot so early on, and it made him a big star when he beat The Rock at SummerSlam. So me personally, that's how I would book it. Have the winner receive a title shot at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
You need some type of stakes, man.
Then you could have Gunther versus, I guess, Priest, but
oh god,
I don't know that that's who you're gonna go with. Well, I'm assuming Drew and Punk goes to SummerSlam. So who's world champ? Jay?
It's Priest. Priest doesn't have a match for King of the Ring, does he? I don't think he does.
I do not believe so.
It
may be him and Drew now.
Can you see that? I don't think Drew's healthy.
Probably not yet. Maybe not then, and that may be on a Raw or something. I don't know. Right now, no, he doesn't have a match.
I don't think he gets added to the card either.
Yeah, they already got 5 matches. You know they like the tight cards now.
Yeah. I would have Jay beat Priest before SummerSlam, personally. But then, no, you can't do that because then you would have to have a rematch with Gunther and Jay. I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be tricky because then, I mean, do you put the title on Gunther already?
Why not? Be on the roster 2 years.
I mean, yeah, but maybe you want to save him for Cody. But then Cody's probably got to go to Mania to face Rock again. I don't know. It's tricky.
Yeah, the summer is wide open. Like, what are they going to do? You need a hot summer storyline.
Yeah.
You think it's Bloodline again?
Probably. I would bet more than not. Yeah.
Yeah. Somehow the Bloodline will be main event in SummerSlam.
But then again, like AEW needs a hot summer storyline too, because I'm not really invested in a lot they got going on.
Bro, what do you mean? The EVPs versus AEW? You know, I've been watching you WWE shill. You don't like wrestling, do you?
No, I don't. I just like hearing people talk.
Yeah, you don't like actual wrestling. You just like the talking.
No. I like the promos. I skip all the matches.
There's matches?
Yeah. These guys fight after? Oh man. Well, speaking of AEW, we got Dynamite to review, so let's go ahead and get into that. To start us off, they didn't start with this, but this is just the order that I wrote things.
Okay.
Hook came out and was in the ring. Basically just immediate. No. He had a match before. He had a squash match, and then he snatched the mic out of Justin Roberts' hand, and then called out Chris Jericho. So he comes out with his Def Rebel copy and Big Bill.
Big Bill, yes, sir. Well, hold up. You're not going to disparage the good name of Sebastian Wolf. That's who Hook beat in this match, Micah. Sebastian Wolf. Yeah.
Well, he held the hold a little longer than he needed to. Hook did.
Well, I mean, as one does when you're in the red room. I don't know.
Anyways, so one Mr. Learning Tree comes out himself, and they started chanting, "Please retire" again, and they're trying to swerve into this.
Oh, well, he wants to. If he does retire, Micah, he will be inducted into every professional wrestling Hall of Fame. That's what he told us.
I mean, he's probably not wrong, and I thought it was a good comeback, but like,
you can tell he's been working on that one.
Yeah, and you're still not helping your case either.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know, man. This isn't good. Like, you have to be so chronically online to like get this gimmick.
why does every Chris Jericho storyline has have to be him beating the guy? No, not even him. The guy beating Chris Jericho, and then the guy eventually asking for a rematch to beat Chris Jericho again. Have you noticed that happens a lot in Chris Jericho storylines?
Oh yeah, that happened with Starks, remember? Because Starks like
Yeah.
kind of cut a shoot promo and was like, dude, I'm so sick of this. He was like, I'm asking a rematch for you when I beat you the first time. He was like, let's just fight or something. I remember it being ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. It happens over and over again. Didn't Hook beat Chris Jericho initially?
You could be right. I'm kind of
I'm pretty
checked
sure.
out.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, I mean, hey, let me be honest.
Yeah, I think he did beat Hook, and then they had a rematch, and Jericho beat him. But it's still, I feel like that happens a lot in Jericho's feuds.
I mean, I don't know what to say. You're not wrong, but it's again, I go back to the fact that he should have retired when MJF and him fought.
But Micah, he's the learning tree. What do you? Why is Big Bill following him around again?
I don't know. Why does Big Bill actually look genuinely happy to be there, though?
How many guys are gonna? How many guys are gonna follow Chris Jericho after they see on the show that he is not a good mentor to have?
Well, he's doing so much for the career of Big Bill. You see what all he's gotten. You see what all
Okay.
Sammy and
Yeah.
Pride and
Jake,
Powerful.
Jake Hager.
Yeah, look at all he got. A fat $1
Yeah.
million contract.
Was Sean Spears with him, or was he with MJF?
He was with MJF because he was the chairman, but I don't remember if he like swapped at some point. I don't know, man. This is just bad. Like, I really want to know what people think that don't like follow the dirt sheets and everything. Like, what do they think about this gimmick?
Well, the AEW Reddit, which I know is probably not the best place to get rational information from, but they love it, man. They think it's great. Micah.
Anyways, so I'm trying to ponder how anybody could think that this is
He's a learning tree, Micah. He's getting
good.
himself over. He's turning it into a positive.
Yeah,
That's
well,
not go away heat.
I'm turning into the tree with a
You know,
car.
oh God. You about to hit the tree? Are you about to swerve when you drive, Mike?
Yeah, I'm about to swerve when I drive. About to pull a hangman and be
Oh
chronically
man.
drunk.
Oh geez. Where is he? Where's that guy?
I don't. Do you miss him?
Not one bit.
Are you clamoring for him?
It probably would have made more sense for him to be involved in this AEW versus Elite storyline, but
Oh, you got a point, remember? Because he was trying to save All Elite from you.
for me, I'm taking it
Well,
down.
not you. I'm sorry, Mister Phil Brooks, trying
Oh,
to
okay.
save All Elite Wrestling from you.
Yeah, he is the defender of all Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, well, he's the defender of good ratings too, apparently.
Mm. Can't go any lower, can it?
So it's playing limbo. How low can you go? Well, anyways, following that, Swerve and Brian Cage had a match, and really the talking point here is the aftermath. So
Wait,
Christian
hold up.
Cage,
Wait, why did this need to go 20 minutes, Micah?
oh well, because everybody is on the same playing field, because that equals a good match.
Where's Prince Nana?
I think he's still hurt from the beatdown or whatever.
Why is he selling the beatdown, but Danielson can have a seizure in the ring and he's back in action in 2 weeks?
Well, I don't think it's been 2 weeks. When did Prince Nana get beat down? Was that last week?
I think it was 2 weeks ago. He wasn't with Swerve last week.
Well, you see Brian Danielson's ring ready.
is he now after a seizure in the ring? Which, you know what? Another thing, why is Ospreay continuing to retire Tiger Driver 91 when but literally Bryan Danielson comes back within 2 weeks of taking that move? Does he really need to retire?
I don't know. I don't like that they keep talking about it. It should have been a one and done, and then bring it up. Like whenever he does it, then it's a thing. When you keep bringing it up, it's very obvious that he's going to use it eventually.
Or just have Bryan sell it a little longer.
Well, or that. I wouldn't have minded that either.
But back to the Swerve segment. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, sorry. What the crap? I got a hair in my mouth. Anyways,
Right.
sorry, that blew my whole train of thought.
Okay.
Well, I tell you, it's getting late. Anyways, so Swerve and Cage had their match. After the fact, Christian comes down and
Wait, Christian Cage? Oh, it's Brian Cage.
no, Brian Cage.
Oh, okay. There's a lot of cages here. I don't know, man.
Yeah, not to be confused with Ethan Page or Hangman Adam Page or Page, formerly now known as Soraya.
Oh, Paige Van Zandt. I thought you were going there.
Or Paige Van Zandt.
Okay.
Not to be confused with any of those. Brian Cage.
Where are we going here?
I don't know. Anyways, so Christian Cage came down after his brother Brian Cage was beaten him.
Okay.
And so basically they beat up Swerve. Luchasaurus, or no, was it Nick? Yeah, Nick Wayne clocked him with a picture, and they got a good like sound out of that. It sounded pretty rough. And it actually cut Swerve above the eye. It was like spewing blood. So it was a good shot, a good beatdown. I thought this was the best segment they've had, or like beatdown, since they've started. But it would be different if this was the first beatdown. This is the third or fourth beatdown that Swerve's gotten in like 3 or 4 weeks. Started it with something. Or if this was, okay, if they had the first beatdown, nothing happened last week, or the Mogul Embassy was already broke up or whatever, and then this happened, I think that would have been a lot better. But it goes back on the trope that, like, do baby faces not have any friends?
Every week. Like, how's that going to keep them over?
That's what I'm saying. Or, I mean, security, like, oh, Christian Cage is in the ring, or Christian Cage is on the ramp. We should probably get some security down there for Swerve. That might be a smart idea, considering he's been beat up the past 3 weeks in a row. Nah, he'll be all right.
He good. Straight.
You know the that picture of that. So it's got a Gucci bag and one of the straps is tied, and it's like, just let that thing go.
No, I don't know.
Okay, well, yeah, you win some, you lose some. Anyways,
they make him like a goober every week. It beat up.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he wins the match, but who's he facing? He beat Kyle Fletcher. He beat Brian Cage. And I don't mind that he's on TV, because that's a lot of people's gripe. Well, the world champ's on TV every week is overexposure. No, that's not my problem. But when you have him in the same type segment every week,
you need him to beat those type of guys quicker. Like 5 minutes? Is that asking for 2 minutes?
That was the good thing about Joe's title reign. When he had the hooks of the world, he actually beat them fairly quick. I mean, it was like 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, look at the state of Samoa Joe these days, Mike. Can't go that one.
In the floral shirt.
He's too big for that.
Well, before we get to that, because that's the next thing on the slate, did you like this? Is it just you don't like it because it's so repetitive? Because that was my thought.
I like Kristen in this, but if we're looking at it from a fan's perspective, why would I? Swerve looks like a jabroni every week now. Gets beat up every week.
Yeah. And I want to like this feud.
Well, I mean, the main appeal of Swerve is not there every week now. Prince Nana.
Oh, come on.
He got a big reaction, but they were in Washington. So
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I get what I like the continuity with the Nick Wayne thing, and he's getting back for Nick Wayne. The beatdown is not the problem. It's just, let's get a different segment, like somewhere in here. We've done this 3 weeks in a row. You can't do that every week because now Swerve looks weak.
why did it take him so long to get back at Swerve? Like, they've been on the same roster for the last year. Why didn't you get back at him?
Well, he was too worried about Adam Copeland and their 8-month long feud.
Before that, who was he feuding with?
Nick Wayne or Christian?
Well, one and the same at this point, aren't they?
Well, good point. Well, see, him and Swerve were teammates at All In, but I think that was before they got Nick Wayne.
I don't remember what Christian was doing. Was he feuding with Hook? I think he was feuding with Hook.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But Christian and Nick Wayne's mom and Kill Switch, why did it take them a whole year to get Swerve back?
Well,
yeah. Make it make sense, Micah. Make it make sense, man.
Just two ships passing in the night.
Okay. All right. We share a locker room, but I'm not mad at you quite yet.
Yeah. It's got to simmer a little more.
Yeah. It's got to fully
speaking of Hook,
what you did.
Yeah. Speaking of Hook, Samoa Joe and Shibata.
Oh, God.
I wasn't even going to mention this, but it was just painful. You got the Japanese guy doing text-to-speech for his promos.
Hey, now. That is Cat. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Shibata. Yeah. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, that guy. Shibata, man. Give him his name back.
So he's supposed to be some killer Japanese guy, killer wrestler, came up with Okada and all them. I don't really know anything about the guy, but it's just funny. Everything's got to be funny. Oh, Samoa Joe's in a floral shirt. Oh, that's funny. That's a big guy in a floral shirt. That's funny. That's good comedy. And I heard all the people in the arena laugh too. I was like, dude.
That's what they like. How did he know what Hook was saying?
You know, I didn't think about that.
He just somehow knew what Hook was saying and he responded to Hook.
Maybe it was coming through on the phone.
Well, wouldn't it say what Hook was saying?
That's also a good point. You know, I did not even think about that, but that makes no sense. If he was having to use text-to-speech,
yeah.
If you can't pronounce English, then you definitely can't understand when somebody else says English.
Maybe he's just a mute. Maybe he can understand English.
Sounds like a good wrestling gimmick.
Well, I mean, that's 80% of the roster nowadays.
Oh, well, you know, you got me there. I don't know. It's just
they're not building to a trios with these guys, are they?
With Joe?
Yeah, you don't think, are they?
Oh, God, I hope not. No, I feel like they're going to have Samoa Joe versus Hook, and Hook's going to beat him.
Well, they already had that.
Yeah, but Joe beat him.
Bro, did you hear the crowd laugh? I think we got gold here, Micah. we can have comedy, strange bedfellows segment now with Hook, Shibata, and Samoa Joe.
Strange bedfellows, huh?
Yeah, you know, that's a saying. You never heard that?
No.
Bro, it's a expression, strange bedfellows.
Yeah, all right, Diddy.
Oh, come on now. Don't be Bro, it's a saying. It's a saying in wrestling. What do you mean?
I've never heard that. Strange bedfellows?
Yeah. Bro, you never heard that, really?
No. I've heard a lot of wrestling sayings that could be easily taken out of context, but strange bedfellows.
Oh, look, I just looked it up. A peculiar alliance or combination, as in George and Arthur really are strange bedfellows. Bro, you never heard of this, really?
No, I'm dead serious. I've
Come
never
on,
heard of that.
man. The expression.
I mean, there's some questionable wrestling, which I'm sure it looks like this doesn't exactly always pertain to wrestling, but there's some strange phrases out there. Like if I said, well, yeah, Hook screwed Joe, well, that could easily be
Well.
misconstrued.
Or he turned on him.
Yeah, he turned on him. Huh?
But yeah, man, you know, like Booker T and Goldust were strange bedfellows, but it worked. They had
See, and
comedy
you had
segments.
to go and use Gold Dust too as the
Well, no Diddy. We established that earlier. We're not no Diddy B. But
well.
they are gonna have my prediction, they're gonna have a comedy 6-man with Samoa Joe, Hook, which I cannot take serious, and Shibata, which he is a mute that can somehow
Understand language.
understand languages. Yeah, sure.
He's the Duolingo owl.
Yeah. Whatever that is, yeah.
You know what Duolingo is?
I don't know what that is, no.
Well, you know, hey, every day is a due day to learn. That's the little app that you can do foreign language on. It's a little green owl.
Who do you ever beat?
Well, he's not beating the yeah. What is that thing
Okay.
that man, I'm trying to come up with references here, but I can't think of what's the thing that they found in like ancient Egypt that had like 3 different languages on it or something.
I don't know what the heck. No, I don't know what that is either. You're pulling out
No,
obscure references on me, Micah.
no, there's oh man, it's also a foreign language thing. But
All right.
there used to be a website or something that
Okay.
was called that because it was some like ancient thing that helped us understand language. Oh my god, what am I thinking of? It's in a rap song too. That's why like I know cuz hold on. I'm going to have to find this cuz it's going to bother me. Anyways, following this, we had Willow and Mercedes Moné in the ring to do their contract signing. And I really wondered what you thought about this because this to me was the best thing on the show. I thought Willow cut a really good promo for somebody who's not a good promo. Or let me say
She's
that.
solid.
Yeah. For somebody who's not known as a great promo.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a good angle all around. She powerbombed her through the table. The people really got up for that. I don't know. This has been my favorite thing that they've done with Mercedes.
Are they pivoting with Mercedes? Because I don't think this was the plan when she got there.
I would have to assume. I mean, well, didn't she start feuding with Willow though?
But it seems like she's full-fledged heel in this promo she had with Willow. Like she was playing into the booth.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you don't think that was the original plan?
I don't know if they expected Mercedes to have her reputation get soured so fast, but it really has with all her promo she's cut over the last month and a half.
The Rosetta Stone. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about now?
Yeah, I know what that is. Yeah.
Okay.
I just remember I think it was what was that Drake song that he said Rosetta Stone?
Yes, okay, thank you. I knew it was in a rap song.
I know way too many people here right now. You know that song?
Yeah.
By Drake? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know
2K.
Last year.
Yeah, I remember from 2K. But yeah, Rosetta Stone, man. But
here we go. Okay. What? I shouldn't have drove. Tell me how I'm getting home. You too fine to be laying down in bed alone. I could teach you how to speak my language, Rosetta Stone. Come on now. That's hard. That's
classic Drizzy. Come on now. We ain't turn our backs on Drizzy on the Scoop Slam podcast.
I can't, man. It's too catchy. He makes too
They
many
bump-
bangers.
They bumping Kendrick in the club? I think not.
Well, you got a point.
Well, maybe this latest song they are bumping in the club.
Yeah. You seen that video of LeBron?
I did. Keep your family away, Brian. Mercedes and Willow.
Yeah.
Willow and Mercedes. It wasn't a bad promo from Mercedes. It was a lot better than what she usually does. And she got physical, which is the first time she did in her AEW run. Crowd went insane when Willow put Mercedes through the table.
Yeah. Biggest pop of the night.
Yeah, that or when Darby returned, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But they still haven't resolved the issue of somebody attacking Mercedes in the dark. So maybe that's how they get out of giving Mercedes the title right off the bat.
Well, who do you think it would be, though?
The attack. Whoa, what about the alien Statlander?
So you think she turns heel?
Why not? Has she been healed before?
I don't think she has, no.
Well, what about Paige, man? What are they paying Paige for?
Well, she's with the BDSM girl.
Well, they can feud. Sasha and Paige can feud, right?
Oh, well. I mean, I don't know if you're going to want to see that, but yeah, they can feud.
They got history, and they love bringing up the history in the other company. Sasha ended Paige's in-ring career at a house show when she kicked Paige in the back or something like that.
Well,
there you go.
I don't know. I think Willow's probably like top 3 my favorite in the women's division in AEW.
Wow.
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. She's weirdly like, what's the word? You almost like want to root for her, I guess.
She's got an infectious babyface attitude that you can get behind.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. It's like you just want something good to happen to her, and I don't know. I was really impressed with the promo. She does kind of have a put on tough voice, but that's all right.
Okay. All right. So your top 3 is Harley Cameron.
Whoa.
Ruby Riott and Willow, right?
What is the criteria here?
I thought that was your top 3, man. I'm sorry.
I can't even. How do any of those relate? It is not my favorites in AEW. I'll tell you that much. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the main segment. Following this, or really the main event of the show, was Dax versus Okada for the Continental Championship. Before the match started, they did this really cool shot where Renee was right beside the entranceway while Dax was starting to make his entrance. I thought that was really cool. I like that. That's a real sports presentation type thing.
Well, I have been paying a little attention to that. They only do that for the Continental title matches.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only time they do it for Continental. Which, I mean, it adds something different to the Continental title, but I wouldn't hate it if they did it a couple times in the show, actually. I didn't hate that. Yeah, I actually like that.
Well, speaking of that, like something they only do for the Continental Championship. Why is this the only belt that they make such a big deal about no interference? Shouldn't
the world title? Shouldn't that be?
Shouldn't that be for everything?
If they have the power to do it, why can't you just do it for every match?
I mean, they make like a big deal about it, but like, so what? With the Continental Championship, if there is interference, then the champion loses the belt or whatever. Okay, well, why don't we just do that for everything? Or why don't we? I mean, I don't know. There's some kind of placeholder rules you could put in there, but it makes something. You instantly like make everything else look like a joke because they're allowed to interfere in the World Championship match.
Yeah, it's just
if you get caught, you'll be disqualified. So,
It's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Like when Tony Khan can literally book a match within 30 seconds of somebody challenging somebody, yet he can't take back the decision that they fired Christopher Daniels early on in the show. The Young Bucks did. Why can't he just veto that firing?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point because that was my thought.
Yeah.
As you hinted to, they ended up having a beatdown after the fact. Darby returns somehow.
Is Dax ever won a one-on-one match?
Against Cash. I think that was it.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's stupid. I'm not saying he should have won this match, but
why is he never a contender?
Well, not even that, but it's just why is he in singles matches that he never wins?
What happened to the rankings?
You bring this up every week. And they're still not here.
They're not here. What? Eddie Kingston got hurt. Did you see that?
I did. Didn't Darby get hit by a bus 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
How is he cleared?
He broke his foot a month ago.
That was a month ago?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it was after the Sting match.
That's right. That was like that was in March. No, still, that's only like 2 months. How is he cleared?
Well, they're I mean, they're safe, Micah. Everybody's safe. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's safe. You're gonna put Darby Allin in the Anarchy in the Arena match, he might kill himself.
Well, he's probably gonna make his foot a lot worse. Didn't it take Punk like 3 months to come back from that?
Shattered his foot? I think he was out a little longer, actually.
He got hurt in June and was back by...
He said he rushed back.
September. Yeah, and he rushed back.
Yeah.
This is a broken foot can take 4 to 12 weeks to heal, depending on the bone that is broken and the severity of the fracture. In most cases, it takes 6 weeks to heal.
Yeah.
But that don't even make any sense. And then to jump right into an Anarchy in the Arena match. However, Kingston's not cleared and the match is 2 weeks away. Which, trust me, I'm not clamoring for Kingston to be in the match. I'd rather see Darby. But, I mean, I like Darby. I'm just saying that don't make sense. How is a human being cleared that fast? I'm not questioning their protocol. I'm just saying.
Did you see his after show speech, Darby?
I did see that Dax told everybody that Cash was acquitted.
His case got thrown out. But Darby was talking about I think he got a mic or something and said that he still has a limp. So I don't think his foot's 100%. And he's still got that nose brace on. And he said that Dax hit him in the head on a spot when he was making the save. So yeah, bro, Darby is falling apart. He is it makes more sense that he is in this match than Danielson, though. I will say that.
Yeah, because he's been kind of the guy like, I love AEW and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think, in a weird, funny thing, I don't think it should have been Darby. I think it should have been another guy that came from WWE so that it's like a complete reverse NWO.
Oh, God. Who'd you have in mind?
Who else they got? Former WWE guy that's not doing anything?
What's Sandman doing?
Oh, come on.
I like Sandman.
Hey, but that bell's got a ring.
Well, I mean, they get Metallica Enter the Sandman. Is that Metallica?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can get him. They can. Oh, and it will play into the Anarchy in the Arena because you could have the song playing over and over again. Like, really get your money's worth.
I was about to say, do you have to pay the royalty rights multiple times?
Well, see, that's why you play it one continuous time over and over again.
That's like a 6-minute song, too.
Okay, well you loop it. Didn't they do that for the other Anarchy in the Arena match?
Yes, it was the one that I was there for. I thought I was about to have a panic attack. I was overstimulated, dude.
I think when Danielson came out earlier, his song looped like 3 or 4 times too.
Dude, I was like, holy crap, there is so much going on. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad Darby's back, but should he rush?
Why isn't he involved with the Bang Bang Gang? The people that actually injured him.
Well, were they doing anything on the show?
Well, no, nobody wants to see Jay White, but
Greatest heel of all time.
greatest heel of all time. But like Darby should want some revenge on the guy that injured him. Hey, nah, get that. I'm saving AEW.
AEW needs saving. Somebody flash the bat signal. Well,
oh man, they get the hook signal.
Oh god. Anyways, glad to see Darby back. We'll do predictions next week, and yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. We'll see what happens next week. We'll be back reviewing SmackDown, Raw, Dynamite, and as always, make sure to check out the link in the description. Follow us so you know when we're uploading next. Make sure to get your dead threads once again. If you use the link in our link tree, 15% off. Use code ScoopSlam. You get an extra 10% off of all your favorite sports teams merch. And make sure to come back next week, like I said, when we do some reviewing, do some predictions, and we're going to have a good time. Make sure to have a good time in between then. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.